come at the break of night, and the pink skies waving goodbye. She come at the break of night, leaving no traces around. She's trying to free a reckless heart.
Feels so good to get back to Acklins. You know, I see my buddy Joseph and Frankie, our two guides for the week. Always smiles. These guys are always in good spirits. It's great to have them back on the boat. They're gonna be guiding us for this week. Flying into Acklins Island, it's always exciting because you can just see down there and off to your side all the places to fish, all the places I want to fish. So today's our first full day of fishing. We're gonna go out, traditional, chase some bonefish, look for some permit. You know, I got my buddies with me. We got a pretty nice sunny day, a little bit breezy, but that's what to expect here, and you know, good to go.
What is it about this place that everyone got no patience and everything's in your face, killing your imagination?
Guys, we're just getting into this spot here, working our way in. Typically at high tide, you know, in the mornings when that high tide comes up, these bonefish all push as far back in here in these mangroves as they can. That's where all the freshest food is. They're finding shrimp and crab, and so we're gonna work our way into here, and then as this tide starts to fall out, all those bonefish will start coming out of the trees and cycling down through here. It should get really good. But for now, we're gonna go try to find them in the trees. One of the great things about walking the flats for bonefish is it's like big game hunting. And you just don't know, how many fish you're gonna come across, how many shots you're gonna get, but you're always searching, you're looking, you're just watching, looking for those shadows, looking for something to catch your eye, make a cast at. See, we're getting up here to the shallow stuff, really shallow, muddy. These fish should be cruising these edges still. They got enough water in them. But you can see the light conditions change off and on. It gets cloudy, it gets light. And when that sun's out, you can see them pretty well. But once that cloud cover comes over, it makes it really difficult to see what we're chasing. It's a snapper. Yeah! Look at that. Look at that little guy. Look at that. Look at the teeth on that little fella. After a long day of wading the flats, I look over and I see my buddy Louie hooked into a bonefish. Lifts the spirits, time to get refocused. You know, I've been struggling all morning trying to put things together to catch a bonefish. Louis, he hooks up with a nice bonefish, and we circle back, and Joseph says, you know what, switch up flies, let's try this, you know, maybe get out of my own head a little bit, put something else on.
Man, you got the right flies. Put on one of those.
This one? This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Put on the small one.
This one?
Yeah, so you good. Yeah, you good at a coin.
Always listen to your guide. You know what? He was right. Switching it up worked. First cast with that new fly, that fish ran over there and ate it just like he was supposed to. Another. Finally got one to eat. And been in fish all freaking afternoon. And the wind's bad. Broke them off. Anyway, I finally made a decent cast in the wind and got one hooked up with my buddy Louie. Woo! Boy, look at the size of that bonefish. The quality of these fish is good. A fly in his mouth. Look at that. Yeah. I hooked up a fish and broke it off about an hour before I landed my first fish. And sure enough, the fish that I landed has my exact fly in his mouth. I mean, how crazy is that? Bone fishing is just so much like big game hunting to me. You know, you're looking, you're hunting, you're creeping, sneaking along and waiting for that one opportunity. And obviously you don't just get one opportunity, but it just takes a while sometimes to develop like where these fish are sitting, you know, where they're working, where they're feeding, what depths and what angles and pinch points and all that kind of thing. So, and these bonefish, you know, they're prey for barracuda, lemon shark, bull shark, and even the nurse shark get in on them. So this is what happens sometimes when your bonefish gets attacked by a shark while you're fighting it. But, you know, we don't want to waste it, so Joseph's gonna take it back to the camp and cut a couple fillets out of it. A shark ate the fish, so we can do a quick anatomy lesson, but these fish, they're just cartilage, this thick, hard cartilage, and inside their mouths you can see it's just like a grinding stone in there. It's hard as a rock and it's porous. Like, so these fish, they'll go grab the crab and shrimp or whatever, and they'll actually get it inside there, and it just crushes it. It's like they've got all these little ridges and grinding stones built into their mouth. Pretty cool.
Crushers.
I've been stomping around for a couple hours now. I've seen as a crab and a stingray. Just hot-footed up here to talk to Jarvis, fish with him. You guys see anything?
Not much so far. Just one school of bonefish. Curtis and Louie had a shot at them. Looked like they were able to hook up, but they're few and far between this morning.
Just gonna stomp out through here. Maybe we fish together for a little bit. The key for this trip has been figuring out the tides and the fish movement on the tides. All of us are fishermen. We're all putting our heads together, trying to figure out exactly what these bonefish are doing. Oh, I think I snagged him. You know, the first half of the day was honestly really difficult. I played the game where I kind of came behind everybody. You know, I was getting super frustrated. I was struggling a lot, to be honest with you. I was getting shots, and just everything that could go wrong did. I screwed it up. I'm getting too excited, forcing my cast, pulling it out of their mouths. I mean, you name it, I was doing it. And I guess that's fishing. spot that I have been thinking about for the last year. It's this big flooded mangrove estuary. It's too deep, so we couldn't fish it all last year. They say nobody fishes it, nobody goes in there and fishes it. So I'm hoping to see some barracuda, maybe some tarpon, some little permit, some snapper. I don't know. We have no idea really what's in there, but it's a big creek system that floods in every day, and it just looks beautiful. So the only way to access this thing is with some inflatables. That's what we're doing. We got the inflatables in the back of this old truck. We're gonna put them on our backs, and we're gonna hike about a half an hour into a spot, and blow them up, and fingers crossed there's a fish there actually. We've been talking about this hike in. It's been a year since I've been here. Kind of nervous about, how bad it was going to be, but it wasn't bad at all. It took about 20-30 minutes to get in here. The stand-up paddleboard, the Sea Eagle stand-up paddleboard, has a nice pack with it. It's got backpack straps. It fits in there. It was pretty easy. The paddle ski is a little different story. You could get a backpack for it, but all we had was the case that it came in. No problem. Strapped it on my back. We hiked in here. We've got spinning rods. We've got fly rods. We got them rigged up with wire leaders, a few different things for whatever we might find. The new Okuma travel rod series, they have an SST spinning rod 3-piece. We got those packed in here, some spinning reels, some braids, some wire leader. Perfect for a scenario like this where you gotta pack in and just don't know what you're gonna find. After fighting the wind, and trying to figure out this boat situation, something's gotta happen.
Oh, look at that.
So with these Sea Eagle boats, we were able to get into some of these areas of really, really difficult wading because it's so muddy. It was a big, long hike in here, and unfortunately the wind was really putting a hurting on how the fishing went today. But luckily, Joseph, he was out there harvesting conch, showing us how to pull them out of the shell, and we're gonna eat good tonight. Another thing you get to do here when you're in the backcountry in the Bahamas, you get to go find some conch. Right, Joseph?
Yeah, man, we go get some conch, man. Some nice conch when we come in Sparky. It's a place called Sparky. When you come inside, you can just walk around and you pick up some conch, man. That's the way we do it.
You're gonna eat them later?
Yeah, man, we get this is like catch to cook.
Catch to cook. Look at that. You can see him just sitting down there, super camo, laying down there, and then it's absolutely gorgeous on the underside. Look at that. Some fresh conch from right here at the island. You know what? Fishing might be a little slow, but if you're gonna eat like this, who cares, right? The key for this trip has been figuring out the tides and the fish movement on the tides. All of us are fishermen, we're all putting our heads together, trying to figure out exactly what these bonefish are doing.
We're out here in the Bahamas and we're chasing bonefish, barracuda, pretty much lots of different species out here. So I wanted to run over the setup we're running. And this is actually our saltwater master line. So this is our line with a slickening agent built right into it. And that slickening agent helps repel salt and gunk building up on the line, so it casts great throughout the day. Saltwater master has a nice long head design as well, which allows you to pick up more line off the water, one false cast, and shoot it right back out. We also built this with our Sensacore core material. So unlike the older clears, which had a good amount of stretch to it, these are a little bit more stiff, which gives you more sensitivity, higher line speed for punching through the wind, and overall better hook sets.
This time we're here during the big high tides. And so we've been traipsing around these same areas when either A, the bonefish are supposedly way up in the trees or something hiding, and we don't see them until later, or the fish really aren't up in the trees and they're not even moving at all until the tide gets lower, and then maybe they're only going in to feed on the high tide the second time of the day. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because we haven't had a good, yesterday Louie and I got into some fish early on that high tide, but there wasn't a lot of fish, but we were in them, a few. We're heading out to Big Wall today. We're going to a place that's good with this wind. We saw some fish there before. Joseph thinks that they're going to be piled in there. So we're running it up to a high tide. We're going to fish it out and see what happens. We packed these sea eagles up, we got them into this spot, and the wind just starts pounding on us. So we're gonna work these sea eagles in, and then just try to locate the fish and then get out and put a stock on them. After fighting the wind, and trying to figure out this boat situation, something's gotta happen. Just finally had some launches late in the day. We've been looking. Finally find some bones, get in them, and make a good cast. Jarvis and I both casted at them, and boom, got hooked up right away. So kind of excited, because it's been a while. After all the work put in, everything came together. The sea eagle worked out great. Jarvis and I were able to get off the boat, cast to those bonefish, get some shots, catch some fish. All the hard work paid off. Great week here in the Bahamas. I got my buddy Louie with me. I got Jarvis with me. He's on to his first bonefish, and then a bunch after that. Testing out new lines, having fun, eating good. You know what? It's pretty much the perfect end to a perfect week.